Hello everyone, I'm Joe Ackourey, and welcome to the Fly of the Week. For this episode, episode 73, I'll be tying my version of the little yellow stonefly, or the yellow Sally dry. The pattern that I'm about to share with you is a very low profile pattern and imitates the natural perfectly. Yellow Sallies typically start appearing on my home waters around mid-May and lasting throughout the entire month of June. So, without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, here we go. The yellow Sally stonefly dry. Start by placing your hook in the vise, making sure that your shank of the hook is relatively parallel with your tabletop, and begin covering the entire shank of the hook with thread. Now this version of the yellow Sally is the version that I prefer because it closely represents the natural, and it's a very low profile fly. The trout seem to be on it, and it requires an indicator for you to see it. I'll be honest with you, because it lays so flat in the water, just like the natural. And yeah, I think you'll enjoy this pattern. I typically start to see these bugs on the water from mid-May, third week of May, to throughout the month of June, but sporadically. And the trout seem to key on them. So yeah, I think this is a great pattern to add to your arsenal of flies. So after we cover the entire shank of the hook with thread, we're going to place the tails on. And the tails are, I like to use Mallard. The leading feather on the Mallard wing, you'll find the Biots, the natural Biots. And I take two of these. They're white with a gray outline. So let me take two of those, and we're going to place one on each side of the hook, shank. And the length of them is going to be approximately equal to the gap of the hook. So I'm going to attach the one closest to the camera. That's on your side. And now for the side closest to me. And I want to make sure that they're relatively even on both sides with each other. And I take my scissors and I kind of just use that as a background so that I can line them up a little bit nicer. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, once you get those anchored, you can wrap this excess tail material all the way up the shank of the hook. And it kind of acts like an underbody filler. Okay, that looks good. Now for the abdomen. The abdomen is going to be made from my Sulphur Dun blend. It closely represents the natural, so that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to form a noodle with this blend. Nice skinny noodle. Very good. And I'm going to begin to build the abdomen. I'm going to kick a wrap under the tails. And then start. Perfect. And I'm leaning the wraps up against each other pretty tightly, sometimes overlapping, just to build my taper. And the length of the abdomen is going to be approximately equal to 3/4 of the shank of the hook. Just a little bit more. So once I reach that sweet spot, I'm going to start to build my thorax. There we go. Perfect. Now for the thorax. Thorax, we're going to start off with a cream hackle. We're going to strip the fuzzy part of it off, exposing the stem. And now, remember, there's a natural curve to these feathers. I want the curve, the natural curve, going down and over the fly, like so. Oh, that's not cooperating. There we go. Perfect. And kind of anchor that in pretty good. Now this is the thorax. So now we're going to add a little bit more of my sulfur blend for the thorax. Form your noodle. Okay. And that looks great. So let's do a little review here. First part, we wrapped our thread, covering the entire shank of the hook. And then we started to attach our tail material, which is made from the Mallard leading feather or quill. And this is the only quill that has the Biots. It's the first leading edge of the wing. So we used 2 of those, and we matched them up evenly. And we made the tail length equal to about a gap. And then we started building our abdomen out of my sulfur dun blend. We wrapped the abdomen about 75% of the hook shank. And then we started the thorax by attaching this cream colored feather. And then we built the thorax. Thorax is a little bit heavier than the abdomen. I think you could see that there. And we're going to take our hackle now and wrap it. 3 good wraps. And our hackle length is about a size 16, like 16 or 14. That's about the size of these guys. That should do it. And tie that off. Clip off your excess. And clean up any of the fibers that don't want to cooperate with the main group. There we go. So, there you have the thorax is built now. I like to clip off the top just so that the wing I'm placing on top gets a little bit closer to the thorax, the hook shank itself. There we go. So now you're pretty flat right there. I guess you could see that. So now the wing. The wing is nothing more than a cream colored hackle, and I'm going to draw the fibers down. I'm going to draw them down until they become perpendicular to the stem, as you could see. Then I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to put a couple good drops on here of my head cement all the way down. Like so. Then I'm just going to hold on to the top of the feather and draw them down. And it makes a great wing. Just keep going. That's pretty much my wing right there, guys. So I took the liberty to prepare a wing already, because this is going to take some time to set up. So here is my wing, my prepared wing. I'm going to lay that right on top of the shank of the hook perfectly. It's going to extend right to the butt end of the hook. I'm going to lay my thumb on top and carefully secure it. And the end result is a perfect wing. So now I want to hold the wing in place and kind of kink this up a little bit and clip the stem and then peel it off. And then I'm going to take some more securing wraps because this is a little bit loose yet. Okay, and then I'm going to use these excess material here from the wing and use it for just like little pinchers or whatever, feelers. I'll clean that up a little bit better. Okay, Now for the indicator. This fly is almost done. I'm going to take a full piece of my sparkle yarn material for my indicator. Again, because this fly literally lays so flat in the water that it's hard to see. Even though it's a bright colored fly, you're saying, how the heck can't you see that? It just, the way of things, I mean, it's such a low profile fly that it requires an indicator. So I secure that. Once I get it a little bit tighter, there we go. I'm gonna clip this piece off with a little bit sharper pair of scissors that I have. And then make this indicator a little bit smaller. There. That indicator will stick out really nice, and you'll appreciate it once you see it floating on the water. All right, guys, tie the knot. This fly is done, with the exception of a little bit more cleaning up. It's a great pattern. I've had mixed results with the way I fish it. Sometimes I dead drift it and catch fish. Other times I'll skitter it a little bit and the trout chase it, actually. So it's a fun pattern to fish. If you get the opportunity to catch this sporadic hatch, this is the fly. That's pretty much it. So this is the version of the yellow Sally that I prefer to fish. I'm going to actually clip the hackle off the bottom. I almost forgot. Yeah, this will make it stay on top a lot better by clipping the hackle. It'll land flush. So there you have it, guys. The version of the yellow Sally that I prefer to fish with. Thank you for joining me in this episode of the Fly of the Week. And if you like the content that I'm pushing out, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thanks again, and tight lines, guys.